Tell you what, man, that last one there never ceases to get me because I just remember the flow state we were in. I remember the vibe. Shout out to that lovely to the lovely couple, Chris and sister Kate. We are live. We are here. We are kicking tires, lighting fires. We are rocking, rolling, all the things, man. Listen, obviously it's been a slow news week. Not. Uh,
Ugh.
bro, we have accomplished, and when I say we've accomplished nothing, I mean college football below the Mason-Dixon line has accomplished almost nothing this week at work because literally the only thing people can talk about is LSU, Auburn, Florida, and Ole Miss. I mean, it is a really a four-state horse race to like to discuss all of these things in one show is certainly going to be an anomaly, and we're going to certainly touch on all of them. So we are actually going to try to get like individually, what we're thinking, if this happens and when does this happen, and of course none of it is going to go the way that we're saying. Very seldom do you go 100%, but we're here to cover all of it. Obviously I am your co-host for the afternoon, Coach Trey Russo, standing over there. I mean, is it hoodie season almost? I know it's 85 outside, but is it close to hoodie season or what?
Always hoodie season in the house for me. So we are we're here, man. It's been a another entertaining week. I think it's definitely picked up over the last couple of days, ever since last weekend,
Yeah.
and I think it's only going to get more entertaining as we go into the weekend. So happy, man.
It's interesting. It's interesting to say, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, when you have at this point in the season college football games that mean almost nothing to the fans, it's almost a good or bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because it means that there's obviously some like your teams are already in, right? Like this game, like if you drop the game, so what? If you lose the game, so what? Or it's a bye week, so what? Or you're in this instance, you're either on a bye week or you're not playing really anybody. So no one's really, all that work. There's no stress. The only stress involved, like I said, is who's going to be the next coach at LSU. And so what I want to do, if you'll humor me here, is let's just go through a timeline really quick. For those of you that are just joining us, welcome into the show. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, or you could just hit the little like button on there. No rates, no comments. Just give us a little like. If you're just joining us in here, let's go through a 10,000 foot view, start to finish, where we've been and where we are with LSU and Lane Kiffin. So it starts out, obviously Florida goes ahead and gets rid of Billy Napier, and almost immediately from as it happened. I mean, you and I even said a year ago that Lane to Florida was there. Shockingly, there has been no drink smoke to Florida. Now, I'm not saying that he won't go there, but that was the original smoke, was that this year, like, drink to Florida, drink to Florida, drink to Florida. And that was just us saying it. But if they think they can get Lane, they're clearly going to go for Lane, who is a better candidate and is, in our opinion and reality, a better football coach. Florida fires Billy Napier. Immediately, all the smoke is to Florida. That happens for about a week and a half, maybe
Yeah.
even two. BK is now fired, and instead of immediately going to, well, what's next, there was like a 2 or 3 day hurrah about, oh my God, what are we gonna do during the bye week? Like, what are we gonna do? and and it kind of never really picked up steam for Lane Kiffin to LSU. It was always discussed, amongst us, the fans. But they wanted to get off that Saban pedestal first. And we're still, of course, there's no coach hired. Saban seems to be a consultant for this role. All subjective information that we have received, or that people in the know obviously would receive, that has trickled down our way, is that Saban has kind of said thanks, but no thanks. But I think you should go after Lane. And I think if you were to ask really anybody making a decision for Lane, his people are also saying you should probably take the LSU job. Um, this is a Jimmy Sexton masterclass. Everything about this hire just screams PR nightmare, and it just has Jimmy written all over it. So it goes from Florida and Lane, Florida and Lane, Florida and Lane to what the hell, then to maybe it's going to be Nick to LSU. Now it's Lane to LSU. Now it's Freeman a little bit. Now it's Lane again. Now Auburn gets into the mix. Now John Summerall wants to have his say-so of all three of them. Auburn, Ole Miss, and Florida apparently have interest in the Summerall. So my question to you is this. Let's just say for all intents and purposes that we get lucky and Lane decides to be your next coach, your next head coach at LSU. Also, for those of you that are also tuning in the event that that goes live, the moment that that goes live, one or both of us are going to be here to talk about it. Now, whether or not Russo is going to be at a hockey game or not is certainly yet to be seen. But we will definitely, I will be here tomorrow afternoon to be able to go through that. But let's just say LSU gets Lane Kiffin. Where do you see the pecking order go from there? How would you put your money on it to see where everyone else goes with their hires?
I think Eli is the next guy off the board.
Okay.
And I question whether or not the legitimacy of him going to Penn State is real.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
It's weird, but it's like, it seems like that is a play if it does go out this way. I think Summerall to Auburn is more than likely locked, but I could see Summerall as a backup plan for LSU. But if in the contingencies here, Summerall to Auburn, Eli to Penn State, I don't know what Florida does. Truly, I don't know.
There's a lot of scuttle about Summerall and Ole Miss. A lot.
And he would be the guy if Lane left.
There is a lot of intrigue from them with Summerall. However,
I don't think Dillingham or Key leaves. Now, Dillingham's a wild card because with the news coming out about Sam Levitt, Levitt. Sam Levitt is likely transferring. I would imagine
really
that.
lean on that is Oregon.
But would you not suggest that if Dillingham were to go to a place like Auburn, where I believe he's had ties there before?
Yes.
Wouldn't you think he would follow him unless there was some beef? But I would doubt that's the case. But
early lean on that one is sourced Oregon,
which is not shocking because historically Oregon has grabbed that, let's say, tenured junior, senior quarterback. I mean, Bo Nix.
Right.
I mean, Dante Moore is not maybe as tenured as Bo Nix, but that is par for the course. But I truly do think the first I think someone's going to swing for Summerall. And I think it's going to be Auburn. And
okay.
I think Drinkwitz Drinkwitz to Penn State's weird, but I can see it for some reason. I can see it. Florida obviously makes sense for Drinkwitz, in my opinion, logically, because that's where the early lean was for him anyways.
That was before Billy was even gone, though, and that's what I'm trying to say, man. Is that it's so disrespectful to do that to these guys, because it's like, for example, that's like saying that in your job, like, God, as soon as they get rid of that Russo guy, like we've already got some, like, or as soon as Trey's not the Louisiana rep anymore, like we've already got somebody waiting in the wings, and it's like, well, hold up, I like my job. Like, what do you mean you have someone come up? So I have a little bit of a difficult time with, but some in the football market where everything's publicized, everything comes out of, the woodwork. There's really not a lot of secrets. People talk. A small town like Baton Rouge is certainly not uncommon for rumors to spread. It's also a small town geographically. So it's not like you're in Dallas where if Lane and his family come in and tour, schools, I mean, there's 100 miles of road before you even get to the next neighborhood. Whereas in Baton Rouge, I mean, if someone's up and down Highland Road someone that has season tickets to Tiger Stadium is going to see him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. What I will say is a little bit interesting is that I do have a difficult time with, like, marrying these guys off to new jobs before someone else loses theirs. But what are your actual thoughts on that? So why? So Summerall comes out with the news, right? Summerall comes out with the news for Florida, and within an hour, it's debunked and taken down. An hour. Like an hour, and nobody was excited about it. I'll tell you this way. The way that Florida responded to John Summerall, another G6 coach coming from the state of Louisiana to go and coach their football team, the excitement from them was about like what people feel like if Drinkwitz were to come here. People aren't excited about it. They're not. The only person that I have heard that would be excited about it is probably Blake Baker, because apparently that's like his best friend in the coaching tree. And I have a really difficult time with that one. And I think this Lane thing, again, I think you're going to have a lot more clarity here in about a day. Believe me, if I knew something, I would tell you. The interesting one for me is if Drink leaves. And first of all, that doesn't help because it sounds like Tulane and Missouri are likely to not have their head coach this year. Both of those two programs have ties to Blake Baker.
I could easily see him going back to Missouri.
So my two thoughts. Let's play this game. Okay, let's play this game. And then I want you to get me back to the Dante Moore thing. Let's play this game. Drink leaves, doesn't matter where he goes. Summerall leaves, doesn't matter where he goes. Let's just say it's Auburn and Florida. Auburn and Florida change, okay? What if you all of a sudden are now faced with Lane doesn't come, Lane stays, Blake Baker dips, and now you have to go in for a head coaching job, and now you have to head coach. Now all of a sudden you're now kind of left at the prom with not only without a date, but you also didn't get chicken wings either or a finger sandwich. So you're kind of sitting there, hat in hand, with nothing. It feels like you have no offensive coordinator, you have now no defensive coordinator, and you now have no head coach. So what I'm trying to understand is at what point do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, you have to go for broke? I think that moment was a week ago. I think that moment for LSU was a week ago when they said, F it, we got to put it all on red. And you know me, I've always been to put it all on black guy, but I think they decided they were going to push all their chips on red. And not only red, they're going in on like red 18, Peyton Manning style. Red 18, downset hut. We need Lane, and we got to have him now. So if that doesn't happen, but in the same vein, say Lane doesn't come and you end up, say you go and get Kenny D, okay? Or you go and get somebody else. If Dante Moore shops his options in the NIL space and maybe wants to come make 1.6 or 1.4 or 1.5 at college, not go to the draft, does LSU go and get in the market in on Dante Moore? I'm just saying, like, all of this matters because to me, you save in a couple of ways. If Lane comes, you're getting Trinidad Chambliss. Period.
Yeah.
It would literally feel like Dion going to Colorado with Shador. Like, that's how it feels. I don't think you get Austin Simmons. I think Austin would likely want to maybe stay and compete for that job. But it feels like you're going to get Trinidad Chambliss. I don't believe that he would go to the draft yet. And even if he doesn't, he's going to likely bring in Austin or whoever else the highest bidder is in the portal. You're getting two portal quarterbacks, period.
It's a big deal. That's why,
that's what I'm saying. It's a
Lane's a huge
cascade.
deal.
It's a cascade. So, like, that's why I'm curious. Like, so what happens if you're left at the altar? That's the stuff right now that LSU's trying to play with.
And I would say two things. One, Blake Baker, let's not forget, and this is like, I wouldn't say the absolute last resort, but Blake Baker has a name in the hat. here. Like that
Yeah,
could be a fallback option.
it's down the
I
line.
don't I don't think Baker will get an offer beforehand because I think a lot of this the Lane move has to happen before others move, right? So like once the Lane move happens, the dominoes start falling. I don't think we'll be left at the altar, but if we do, or if
Mhm.
we are,
Mhm.
bad. Bad.
Mhm.
And a lot of
Mhm.
I've seen the theory floated out that Lane's just a super troll.
They're idiots.
LSU and Florida are both on the schedule next couple of years, and he's just doing this. No, he's
No,
not doing
no.
it. And look, he's an interesting guy. I mean, I don't fault anyone in the atmosphere of what's going on right now. You can't blame Ole Miss for wanting an answer, right? Because
No.
Ole Miss needs to know. And you're possibly not going to let him coach in the playoffs if he is intending on leaving. Lane, you can't blame him because he does want to coach his kids. Like this is the best team they've had in school history. They're like 99.9% a lock into the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he truly, I believe, wants to coach this out until the end. That's probably not a realistic option if you're Ole Miss, though, because you can't be left at the altar if you're Ole Miss either. You can't just, hey, like we wait till we get eliminated in the second round of the playoffs and Lane's gone, bye, and then someone like Summerall is at Auburn or someone like Kenny D is at Auburn or Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like they've got to be proactive. I don't think they offered him an ultimatum, which was early dismissed the next day by Lane himself. But I do think there was a like, hey, we need to get an answer. Like we need to figure this out soon. And I don't know. I don't blame any parties involved because, and if you're LSU, all you can do is make your best offer and wait. Now, how long do you wait? I would be wait like he's the big fish. You've got to sell out. So you've got to base. You're at his grace. Like if he wanted to wait to the end of the playoffs, I think you would almost have to take that chance and do that.
And here's an interesting piece that I really didn't consider, which I guess I should have, considering we made money on this when it happened to Florida State. Do you not think that Ole Miss wants to know because they think that if in the event that they lose, if they win the game, it won't matter if the new pope is coaching for them, and you know, like it won't matter if that's the case. But if you lose to Mississippi State, that's a bad loss, and you are not guaranteed into the college football playoff at 10-2. If everything, and again, a day ago, 2 days ago, probably even 3 days ago, was saying it doesn't matter if they lose; they're going to make it in. Like they're 90% chance. However, what happens if you lose to Mississippi State and your head coach comes out with information that that is going somewhere else? Are they not going to have the committee come out and say something about that? Do you not think they're ranked accordingly?
Shout out to Matt Moscona. He had broke a story similar to this earlier about that
It's
possibility,
true.
right?
Just like your
And you
quarterback.
and I truly think there's not going to be any action taken until the Sunday after the Egg Bowl, until the committee makes their decision.
Okay.
So a 10-2 Ole Miss, even with the loss, with Lane Kiffin as their coach, is in the playoff,
I
right?
think that's true
I think there is
because they're not going to get their ass beat.
at worst, in the event that Lane's leaving, at least there would be a deal struck to where, hey man, like let's just keep this under wraps until Sunday after the committee makes their picks, and then the news can break, and then we can go our separate ways. It's funny. I've never been in a situation like this where all three camps are very confident. Maybe not very, but for the most part, confident that Lane Kiffin's going to be their guy. I've never seen a situation like this before, and we've never been in a situation like this because this is the first time it's happened, and fortunately, it's for a guy as entertaining and charismatic as Lane Kiffin. So he's on Twitter, posting his dailies. People are tracking planes.
Dude,
I
people
mean,
are
this
on
is
the tarmac.
This is fun. I
Can
I
we go to the
will.
tarmac? Can we
I
please go to
want.
the tarmac with a mini mic?
I want to talk about the validity of, because this is a major point that everyone says
Okay.
that points to him possibly leaving, right? And that point is, why hasn't he signed an extension? Why, if he truly wanted to stay, why wouldn't he be like the others, um, like Matt Rule? Even if you're not even signing an extension with Dan Lanning, just outright saying no. Or Brent Key basically said, like, you cut me open and see my color, like what colors I bleed. Like, there have been extensions, there have been comments made, and people are like, well, because Lane hasn't signed an extension, he doesn't want to stay. I would say that's not 100% true,
I
because
agree with
I
that.
truly think we're in unprecedented times. Like, and I think there's a lot of pros to this. I think he likes all the attention, but at the end of the day, he's got to make a choice based on, I've got a really special group of guys here in
Mhm.
this one team, but what's going to benefit me in 5 years? The NIL rules are slightly changing starting next year with the rev share being capped and all that stuff. So you've got to build NIL, you know, through a different. You can't just do what some of these teams did this year, right? Which is just throw. Texas Tech is probably the best example, right? They had just all their money thrown towards the transfer portal. That's been capped allegedly starting next year. I don't 100% know the full details of that, but you can't just do what Ole Miss did the last 2 years, which is throw. I mean, that team last year, they had the most pros they've ever had drafted,
Mm.
or they've had players drafted. So I don't know. I truly don't know what's going to happen. I would say we can ask ourselves this every day. You'd have a different answer every day. The betting odds have now come out saying Lane Kiffin is the current favorite to be the next full time head coach. We've always been skittish on the odds because all of these offshore accounts aren't Vegas, one, and two, they've constantly had Joe Brady in the top three,
Yeah.
which is just not a realistic option. I don't even know why it's an option.
Because it
Nick
isn't
Saban
Vegas.
is not. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, I truly hope he comes to LSU, but I'm not holding my breath. All three schools in this instance believe their fans believe that he's coming there. We know that he's having a meeting tomorrow,
Mhm.
right, with the athletic director
Mhm.
on some, maybe a pitch from him, which is crazy, right? Because like if the dude's pitching him, like maybe this isn't as guaranteed of him staying as we thought, right? Like I think LSU truly pitched something good to him that he truly is thinking about it, and that's to me, as a fan of Lane Kiffin, all that matter. Like as long as we have a chance, we never had a chance in the last coaching cycle. I don't even think they even contacted him. So
Neither did Florida.
and I don't think anyone's he Jimmy Sexton is a good agent and has ties to lots of coaches, including Saban with LSU. If Saban's acting as some sort of consultant, I can only imagine that's helping this cause. And the reason why this is taking so long could be because he is truly he's heartbroken about having to possibly leave the school that changed his life, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like from when he first got there. So like I can truly look at the emotional part of this and like can see the struggle that he's having. Although I know he's like trolling on the outside. That's what it looks like at least, but
See, is
I don't
it
know.
okay? And I'm not trying to put socks on centipedes here. I'm just trying to just call balls and strikes. And let's just say that there's nothing deeper than it. Your team is one game away from guaranteeing their spot into the playoffs, something that you promised these boys that you were going to work so hard on. But the job that you really want they want you and you want to go. Is it crazy to say that Lane strongly desires to just punch his ticket to the playoff and then accept the job?
No, he wants to get as far as he can.
He, but he knows he can't. He knows he can't. Now LSU would certainly be willing to wait if they knew that he was coming,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
but
I
you
think
can
that,
only wait so long until early signing day, Russo.
but why couldn't there be a contingency plan?
What do you
Why
mean?
wouldn't that be publicly announced? Because Ole Miss would not let that happen. If everything like LSU would be willing, if they had a contract
Correct.
signed from Lane Kiffin to come next year,
Correct.
they would gladly let him coach. The
Ole Miss wouldn't.
But that's what I'm saying. Ole Miss wouldn't. So like, that's the part where but I understand that as well. Like you can't let that
You can't.
happen. Yeah,
The only thing you can do is guarantee your spot in the playoff, which is in a week's time. You cannot guarantee a national championship that's 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away. So that's where I'm
and I
saying.
mean they're not. I mean anything can happen. I think the field is as open as it's been, but I would be shocked if they end up getting to like the last four teams. But that all depends on the matchups too. Like there are some spots where I think you can get a favorable matchup and make a run. More teams you start adding in this bracket format, the more that could happen. Like if you just get a favorable bracket, you'll be all right. So we'll see.
I believe I believe that there is a sincere and strong pitch being put forward. I do believe that there are good things happening. I think that good things come to those who wait. I think LSU fans are going to be um, certainly excited if it's Lane, and then certainly going to be ready to burn down someone's house if if it's not them. And I agree, you got to close it. I mean, you have to go close the deal. You have to rally the troops. Like
Yeah.
we're in the end game now. Like we are.
Meant the cause.
Oh, he meant the closet. I thought he meant why
You
in the
do have to
closet?
go close it though. So let's say this: if he was staying after this
Mm-hmm.
meeting tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you think
Mm-hmm.
by at worst Saturday he would sign an extension if that meeting goes well?
LSU would have word of that immediately
So like, but
because
like I
Jimmy
think that would
Sexton has
be
too many relationships in LSU's building for them to not know.
yeah. So like there would be whether it's publicly announced or not. I think they would get to LSU and I think LSU then pulls the like if he's going, I think LSU then pulls the trigger maybe this weekend.
So there was a woman's booster board meeting type of thing today. Obviously, his daughter was there at the event. Clearly, she's
Why?
dating a linebacker. Landry Kiffin was here today. Um,
Why? For the booster event?
there was a luncheon, like a woman's an LSU women's gridiron luncheon type of thing. There was also a gridiron dinner last night. I can confidently tell you a lot of people with money were there last night talking about this very thing.
Why
But
would she be there for wit?
well, she's obviously there for wit, but
But like, why? It's a booster meeting. It's not an event where like, and as it was a like, was wit there with her?
yeah, he was there. Him,
Oh,
all they were both there. Wit and West.
oh,
It's just the trickle effect is crazy. Now, granted, she was coming over to LSU before anything started with any of that, and it is a college student, boy or girl, but it's obviously getting blown out of proportion because it's the daughter of a head coach that everybody at the city wants. So I think what we're gonna see here, and if you want my honest opinion, I'm gonna say this again so I could cover my behind. Baton Rouge is a very small town. It is a big enough town industrially that they've got the money. They're putting forth the money, big homie. Let me tell you something. You want me to raise my hand and be wrong? I said we didn't have enough money to fire Brian Kellen. I'm an idiot. I was wrong about that. One of the very, very prominent people that came out here and said, you do not have the balls to do it. I called LSU out and said, you don't have the money and you don't have the cojones to let go of a $50 million upsy at head coach. JK, yes, you do. And you know what else I said? I said that this town spoke enough, and enough people told me that had the money that people go to, that, again, city's not that big. People are connected. People that donate money all the time, a whole hell of a lot more money than me, are saying, I'm not paying for that shit. So I'm going, okay, well, if they're saying it, then clearly their rich friends are saying it. So what I'll say is this: from what I've said, what I feel comfortable feeling, uh, if Lane Kiffin decides to stay, it is because it is a individual thing with him. There is no smoke. There is no, he plays you for a fool. You are an unintelligent imbecile if you think that that man would put his family on a private jet from a very, very high, well-renowned commercial construction company in the middle of the week, the first day of the week, and let them go and tour the city for smoke. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. If he stays, it is because he has sincerely brought forth a pile of money, and he says, you know what? Maybe the grass isn't always greener. Maybe I'm gonna do what Nick didn't do. Maybe Ole Miss is my LSU. Maybe I should never leave him. Like, maybe it's because he himself decides that he is fine being without, for staying at a university that will make a statue out of him. But if he desires to have the better job, if he desires to be in it every year, he will leave and he will come to LSU, because he complains and whines all of the time about not having the money like the Blue Buds. I don't have this. We don't have that. They bought their roster. Well, big homie, you bought your roster last year and you went 9-3. You bought less of your roster this year and now you're 10-1. So you complained a little bit too loud too soon. Lane Kiffin didn't know they were going 10-1. There wasn't a damn person in the state of Mississippi, in Christian heaven or hell, that thought Mississippi State, or rather Ole Miss, was going to go 10-1 this year in college football. Shut up and shut your kid up too. No one thought they were going 10-1. No one did, but they are. And he wants to. It's like you got a get out of jail free card. You got an extra season to go to the college football playoffs. You thought that you had to push all your chips into the middle of the table last year and go, Jake, hey, you can get there this year. So that's what I think he wants to do. I sincerely believe, shut up, Tyler. I sincerely believe that this is the type of Kiffin only happens with Lane Kiffin. I think he wants the job, but I think he's conflicted because he promised these kids a chance to go to the playoff. But Ole Miss isn't going to let you coach and recruit to another job at the same time. So we will see. I think the next 24 to 48 hours will have certainly a lot of talk to it. Today was their last day of practice. They will be off the rest of the weekend. I think word's going to travel fast after that meeting. There's a lot of people around Baton Rouge that are confident, but confidence doesn't sign things, okay? NDAs have gone out all over that campus, all over Baton Rouge, all over Ole Miss. I promise you, NDA or no NDA, brother, as soon as word gets out on what he wants to do, there's gonna be some tea in the street. There's gonna be some tea in the street. And I don't think you're gonna have to wait till next weekend to find it out.
Yeah, we'll see.
You want to talk about the game or what?
I mean, let's say this. I mean, it's a 21.5 point spread, unless that's changed.
I mean, that's not even the biggest game this weekend, brother. We got some good games now.
Total's going up to 50.5. I want to say that was like 47.5 when I was watching your stream yesterday. Michael Van Buren's the starter. I mean, it's senior night, LSU. Did you? Mm-hmm. What is your opinion on?
Yeah, is Brian Kelly going to be on the field for senior night?
Yeah, is that
I don't know.
Surely he's not going to be.
I asked around a couple of people that would know, and they were like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
like they didn't even think about it either. And I'm like, "Guys, is this thing on?"
Yeah.
he's got a kid graduating.
Yeah, if Witt decides to play, they could make history and play all 3 weeks together. I don't know if he plays though. It sounds
probable.
I mean that. One, I would say Witt's probably staying. if everything works out, right? Because I think with him being out with the injury, I think, you know, uh, one, he can probably improve his draft stock next year, and
Yeah.
two, make a lot of money doing it, and three, possibly with his future father-in-law coaching. So, um,
Future father-in-law is crazy.
so, so keep a lookout on that, and throughout the league. I mean, if we're looking at the SEC, the only big game you've got is Missouri Oklahoma, which is a big one now.
Which could be fun. I
Oklahoma's
mean,
favored by 7.5.
Mizzou's on the road, right?
Mizzou is on the road. I
How
mean,
about them getting
Arkansas and
back-to-back
Texas is
home
always
games?
sneaky because Arkansas can put up some points. I just don't see. I mean, Texas has been in pretty good form lately, so that's interesting. Tennessee, Florida is always interesting. Tennessee's not likely having a chance to make the playoffs, but who knows? And then I think Kentucky, Vanderbilt's a sneaky game. I think Vanderbilt needs a lot of help in order to get in this year, which is definitely possible. Um, so yeah, I mean, and then around the league, we've got. I mean, I'm going through this now. I mean, Miami, Virginia Tech is 18.5 points. USC, Oregon. I mean, Oregon's 10.5 point favorites. Notre Dame's 7 or 5 touchdown favorites. Tulane's a 10 point favorite on the road against Temple. That's a tricky one. There's not a lot going on, man. I don't know. BYU, Cincinnati, a good game. Big 12 implications out on the line there. But man, let's just be honest. I think we're just all waiting to see what happens. If you're betting fans, if I had to give you a lean one way or the other on this game, I don't think this is the Western Kentucky of old, which is, they always produce a quarterback that goes in like the first 2 rounds in the NFL draft. Um, they can score now, but I'm not concerned. There's no like upset alert in my opinion, but 21.5 seems right. That's all I'm gonna say. And based on the offense, how it looked last week, if we open it up, I can see that number going over. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with a slight confidence pick on the over as long as you can keep it below 50. Anything above that, stay away from it. I wouldn't touch the spread with a 10-foot pole.
What about USC on the road at Oregon? You think Oregon dog walks that?
Maybe not dog walks, but I think they'll cover.
10.5.
They'll cover.
Texas at 8.5. Texas at 8.5 at
Here,
home.
Arkansas is a scary team, man. I mean, you saw
And
it
that's an
last week.
old rivalry, dude. They hate each other.
That's a tricky team because you look down in the first quarter last week in Tiger Stadium and they were up 14-0, and you're like,
That
oh
was so
shit.
stupid. That was so stupid.
So,
We literally got out the car and to our seats, and it was 14-0. And we're like, wait, what?
yeah. So, I mean, I think Arkansas will win? No, but that game probably stays close for 3 quarters.
That's going to be a fun game to watch. I will likely be in a deer stand, phone charged, battery pack, AirPods charged, ready to roll. I
Yeah.
am immensely excited to see what's going to happen. We'll talk about it here first. My phone has literally not been charged for over a week now. Like the amount of people that are texting around trying to get anybody to know anything is absolutely insane. We're gonna be here to talk about it. We're gonna be here to cover it. If I did not cover a 9 to 5, I assure you I would be at the tarmac with a camera and a microphone. But let it be known, the moment that something happens, if something happens, we will be going live. I don't care if I'm in a doctor's office or I will go live at my lunch break from the car if I have to. Like we will do it. I do. Of course, I want to thank everybody for pulling up in here 40 minutes right on the dot. We love you, certainly giving us the platform to be able to talk to you guys, bring this kind of content towards you. Shout out to our friends over at Web Western. Maybe have a couple of people that I've spoken to lately about a little sponsorship. a local sponsorship, maybe a properties company. We'll see about that. In the early
Right.
stages of discussion, but we got to see that money first. Incredibly exciting things to come. I'm gonna be honest. The best thing that could happen for the channel is a new football coach. The best thing. So let it just be known that that as it happens, as the world turns, as this market turns, we'll be covering it. Obviously, we've got Thursday Night Football about to go live here in just a second, so we're going to get you guys out of here ready to rock and roll. We love you. Give us a little shout out, give us a little like, give us a subscribe for those that are watching us on delay, and we will be here as soon as something happens or for our scheduled appearance on Tuesday with Catching Up with Coach.
Later, guys.